feel free just to close the eyes. And naturally, we're bringing our experience in meditation, not just in the sitting pose, or sitting in the chair, or sitting in the cushion. This skill is definitely transferable. So in the standing posture, just like you're sitting, just see if you can relax the limbs, the upper limbs, the arms, in this case, the shoulders, and just feel the arms are heavy. And as you sense that perhaps the arms are sort of moving gently away from the body, if that is what so naturally happens, just feel free to just sort of open up the chest a little bit, or as comfortably as you can. Again, there's nothing hard about relaxing into your posture. And as you gently open the chest, the sternum, just feel the spaciousness around the neck area, just releasing a little bit further. And the chin perhaps is just parallel to the floor. And as the chin sort of moves naturally up, there's a lengthening to the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And also there's this equal movement of the feet pressing down to the floor. So as you inhaling, perhaps you can feel the feet gently pressing down to the ground and the spine moving up towards the ceiling. And as you naturally exhale, there's a gentle coming back to the midpoint, perhaps the navel. And just allow yourself to take a few deeper breaths. And see if the face can sort of soften the cheeks, the jawline, the tongue, the brow. And as you're standing in this posture, again, just as we've worked before, there's a sense of natural movement, natural momentum, that the body wants to sway, the body wants to be relaxed. So gently invite any movement, any form of movement that the body wants to do. And to encourage this a bit further, just allow the knees to bend, just to soften, bringing this buoyancy. So the body might shift forward, might shift to the back, and it doesn't matter, but you're just aware that you're trying to relax the body from moment to moment as your practice begins to deepen. You can close your eyes, you can have the eyes open, but I generally suggest you close your eyes if you feel safe standing up. There's no vertigo, there's no fear of falling. And before we just bring some movement, I just want you just to connect again with the heart center. So this area around the sternum, the physical heart, but also the heart center that your practice has been working on, your practice of compassion. The heart practices the loving kindness for yourself and also for people around you, people you do know, people you don't know, people you have been having issues with. bring your breath into the heart center and just connect with what is important for you in today's practice. And again, not trying to think about this, just try and feel your way into what is important for you. Sensing that inner truth, that inner freedom. What's important? What do you value? And as the mind quiets down, an openness, a stillness, a sense of inner freedom does open up. And there are many paths of meditation. Many, many, many paths. Thousands of meditation paths, practices, techniques. But you've got to ask yourself, does the path have a heart? And I don't know if you know the teachings of Don Juan, Carlos Castaneda. Don Juan said, there are many paths that you'll come across. And ask yourself, does the path have a heart? If it does, keep it. If it does not, it's of no value. Okay, so I want you just to gently open the eyes. And again, just some simple movement here. We're going to reach an imaginary point in the ceiling. So let's start with our left side. So seeing an imaginary point in the ceiling, just reaching up with your left hand and then just coming down and just alternating to the other side, reaching up and coming down. And then just doing these for a few moments, just really feeling the body. Feeling the stretching into the feet, the arches of the feet, the kneecaps perhaps, just clenching a little bit to get that extra lift. Naturally, arms are reaching up. And feeling the breath is synchronized. Perhaps as you inhale, you can feel you're inhaling, and as you're coming down, you're exhaling. Does that feel natural to you? Okay, finish on the right side. Okay, and now we're going to use our legs here. We're just going to bend, touch the floor, and coming up. We'll do this 5 times. So exhaling, coming down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, coming down. This is 2. Inhale, come up. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. And exhale, 5. Good. And just shaking the legs. Shaking the arms. Taking your left arm out and then just making a fist and then just banging the arms, alternate. So turn the arm over, so feeling the forearm. Okay, relax. And now the other arm, taking your right arm. Turning the fist down and then banging to the top of the arm. Good. Release. an imaginary cobweb across the whole body, just sort of taking this cobweb off the body, just brushing yourself around the chest, the armpits, behind the head, top of the head, the face. You know the feeling when you run into a cobweb middle of the night? Well, being from Australia, I know that feeling very well. And you feel like there's a tarantula going to latch onto you. Okay. And then just releasing, and then just coming back to your seat and taking the posture that is of comfort to you in your chair, feet flat on the floor. And in your own time here, closing the eyes when you're ready. Just bear with me, I just sip a bit of water here. Noticing where you feel the breath at this point in time. We didn't do too many exercises, but perhaps you can still feel the heart. It's a bit more rapid than normal. Perhaps you can feel the respiratory system more in the chest area. Perhaps more it's passing through the throat area, a bit more of a bottleneck, narrower pipe. Perhaps you can feel the air pass through the throat a bit easier. Or perhaps the flaring of the nostrils just flaring in and out, expanding, contracting. Perhaps you feel the breath here. And it doesn't really matter where, but wherever it is that you feel the breath most easily, just bring your full attention here and just feel the expansion, or feel the air coming in, expansion going out, or the air going out as you exhale. And physically we're connecting with the breath, but also I want you just to have a sense of gratitude of being able to breathe the air coming in, giving us life, giving the body life, to every cell in the body, and the cells doing all their magic to extract the necessary nutrients to feed to the rest of the system. Having this gratitude for this incredible organism. And so this gratitude, I want you to bring this beginner's mind, this innocence, to our practice. That each breath like the wheel of a pottery wheel, going round and round this blessed monotony. This breath coming in, this breath going out. Perhaps you can bring your attention perhaps to the nostrils and focus here and feeling this movement, giving life. And using like this metaphor of last week of the magnifying glass, and just notice the inhalation Notice the pause between the inhalation and the exhalation. Notice the full exhalation. And then notice the slight pause between the exhalation to the next incoming breath. Now, this is not a test. There is not a exam to see how well your concentration is. I just want you just to sense this breath, these movements, these stages that naturally blend together. And when the mind wanders, that's totally fine. Just smile. Because every time you remember, you're awake, you're alert, you're not daydreaming. And so that's a beautiful moment. So I even encourage you once in a while to just let your mind drift off and see if you can come back with a smile for yourself. That is totally fine. Nothing to get hung up about. I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes here. But as best you can, just follow the movement of the breath with innocence. Again, this is not a test. This is not to compare yourself with how your concentration is. Take each breath as the first time it's coming in. The first time it's leaving. again, just using the magnifying glass just to bring attention to the process. Okay. Now whatever is gone in your meditation practice, so don't judge yourself. Again, we just want to be in this moment here, to whatever arises. So stay in the nose, this nasal area, just noticing what sensations you can feel across the nose, perhaps even within the sinuses, so perhaps you might feel inside the nostrils, perhaps inside the throat, behind the eyes. If you don't, it's fine, but definitely around the nose, the nostrils, the tip of the nose, sensing what sensations you can feel. If the analogy of the magnifying glass helps you, please use that. And now let's just move upwards. Move into the area between the eyebrows. And now move into the area, the center of the forehead. And noticing what sensations are manifesting for you here. Size of a euro coin perhaps gives you a reference point, but the sensation could be much bigger, could be a micro distance of this. But just noticing what's arising, if anything. And let's keep along the center line of our body here. Just move your attention upwards as it starts to go into the scalp area towards the crown of the head. When you reach the crown of the head, just stay there for a few moments, but noting the journey along the way. Resting the crown of the head and just again sensing the body lengthening up to the ceiling, which is what I've mentioned a couple of times in today's practice. See if that generates a sensation in the crown of the head. And then let's continue to the back of the head, and I want us just to move down the scalp, down the back of the head towards the base of the skull. Let's say the starting point of the spinal cord, as it connects into the skull, but just tracking your way down the center line, the back of the head. And see if you can feel or sense what sensations are rising around the area where the spinal cord connects into the skull. And now working downwards, down the center line. And you could be feeling sensations across the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the lower back, the armpits, as you're moving down. Not giving them importance, just concentrating on the spinal cord as you really pinpoint moving down calmly. Passing through the regions of the back, the upper, the middle, the lower, the coccyx. Working your way down to the tailbone, and again when you get to the tailbone, just resting here and again just notice what you can feel around the tailbone, what's coming up here for you. And I want you just to carefully unpack what's happening here on your tailbone, on the coccyx. Naturally, physically, you can feel the weight of the body pressing down on the chair. So there is this sensation that's happening naturally, just due to gravity. But can you notice anything else? Heat, throbbing, perhaps a slight tension, perhaps even pain. Vibration. No discrimination here, you just open to the experience that is only relevant to you. Using this equanimity. Sensing the base of the spinal cord. Now invite you just to move towards the front of the body now. Pass through the reproductive organs, the pelvis, the center line, the pelvic region. As you're moving up towards the navel and just resting here at the navel. And I want you to place your hand on the navel, this belly button region, just taking your left or your right hand and just gently pressing it here, resting it here. And as you rest the hand on the navel, just noticing what else is happening. So this hand is like your magnifying glass. And what else is happening? The contact of the cloth touching the skin, the movement of the stomach walls, there's heat. What else is coming up for you? Bring the hand back to where it was, but staying on the navel. What else can you feel? And now let's track up the center line of the torso. Passing the diaphragm region, entering into the chest cavity, the breastplate, the ribs, the heart region, the sternum, the center point of the clavicles, the Adam's apple, and then just working up towards the chin and just staying at the chin for a few moments. And again, just noticing what arises here for you across the chin. Perhaps you can feel the temperature of the room. The tingling on the skin. And again, what I'm suggesting is not what you should be feeling. Whatever you're experiencing, give importance to that. And as you're at the chin, just see if you can soften, loosen the lower jaw and see any movement comes to the chin as you do that. Just releasing tension across the jawline. Perhaps the lips gently part open. If they don't worry. And from the chin, let's just move up towards the lips. And I invite you just to gently lick the lips. And noticing the sensations you can feel across the top and bottom lip. Bring a gentle smile to the corner of the mouth. Feel the aliveness of your body. How subtle it is. How beautiful it is. In a constant flux, in a constant flow. And in this practice, we're honoring, giving gratitude. To this body that's been carrying us for however many years. And from the lips, just moving towards this anchor point, the area between the nostrils above the upper lip. Little mustache area, and just see what sensations perhaps are rising for you in this limited area. The size of 1 centime, size of a fingernail of your little finger. And now, completing the full circuit, just come back to the nose, the nostrils, the tip of the nose, and just sense what arises here, what has happened since the first minute of your meditation, today's session, to what is now. You can feel there much more alertness, much more awareness of the sensations that are arising for you. And let's use the nose for what it's used for. And notice any smells, any fragrance, any odor, positive or negative, that you can sense. If there's nothing, if it's just neutral, that's fine, but just really giving focus to where you can smell. And notice the power of the smell as you inhale compared to as you exhale. Is it the same intensity, or there is a dropping off intensity, or the reverse for you? The nasal hairs, the nostrils, the full nose just opening up to its capacity to smell. And you know very well when you smell something like a beautiful pizza or a fresh flower, it will take you to another world, a previous experience, nostalgia, the amazing power of smelling. Stores so many memories, thousands of memories, childhood memories. Now from here, I want you to bring your attention to the eyes. Now the eyelids are gently closed, but I'm sure you can see in your own way with closed eyes. And no straining here, just soften as best you can the eye sockets, the eyelids, around the eyebrows. And sort of notice what you can sort of see in the dark here. The retina is still working. The brain still processing what you can see. The sensations of the eyelids just closing, feeling the weight of the eyelids against the eyeballs, Noticing what sensations you can feel across the eyeballs. And now to the ears. Really picking up any sound, like the sound when you're sleeping and you hear a noise in the middle of the night that really wakes you up, and you're really honing into what you can hear because of fear, because something might happen. And again, with that intense awareness, just noticing the sounds that are naturally hitting the eardrum, the vibration, sounds of my voice, sounds of you breathing, sounds of your body, the room outside. And as you bring this intensity to the sound, to your hearing, noticing what sensations are rising across the ears themselves, physically. Perhaps inside the ear, perhaps across the ears, the earlobes. And now coming down to the tongue. Relaxing the tongue. Taste, but whatever sensation you can feel, perhaps you might just naturally feel an accumulation of saliva naturally building up in the mouth. The sensations of the taste buds. And again, don't worry if you don't feel anything here, but if you do, just concentrate on the tongue itself, the actual muscle, this tongue, and just notice how sensitive it is. This incredibly unusual organ of the body. As gently close behind the mouth when you speak, how it moves. But here it's silent, it's relaxed, no need to speak. Notice how this tongue is softened, how it really releases the body. And perhaps how it brings you inward rather than outward, rather than expressing yourself. There's a natural drawing in. And as we're drawing in, let's just come to the heart center. And giving a few moments of heart practice. And I want you just to feel the breath entering and leaving, like brushing through, massaging your heart center as you breathe in and as you exhale. And as you're doing this, just really honoring the smell, the sound, the taste, the sensations across the body, of your body. And that appreciation, that gratitude that has been the theme of today's practice. May I be well in body, in heart, and in mind. We say these phrases weekly, but really sensing the power of these words. May I be well in body, in heart, and in mind. May I be free from inner dangers. May I find real peace, real harmony, and real happiness. And really feeling the sensations across the body as we're doing this now. From the heart, all the way down to the fingertips, all the way down to the toes, the spinal cord, anywhere you're feeling sensations. May I be well. May I be filled in great love and kindness. May I be free from inner dangers. And may I find real peace, real harmony, and real happiness. And feeling the collective field of the group. And sensing this heart practice, this practice of being connected with yourself and the person next to you, really on the same wavelength, on the same path, on the same intention. too be filled in great loving kindness. May you too, my dear friend, be well in body, in heart and in mind. May you too, my dear friend, be free from inner dangers. And may you, my dear friend, find real peace, find real harmony, and find real happiness. And before I ring the bell, I just want you to really take care in your practice. Don't just sort of leave it in the room. Take care what you taste, what you hear, what you smell, and really give it its full value, its full attention as you carry this practice in all that you do.